Okay, hi, I'm Casey Sears.
Hi, I'm Cassie.
We are some of those angry queer kids you might have heard about in the news as of late. We go to William and Mary.
Yeah, which is in Virginia.
Which sucks, by the way.
Which really sucks. Why don't we tell them about how Virginia really sucks?
Okay, reason number one that Virginia really sucks. Bob McDonnell.
Bob McDonnell.
Let's
Governor.
start.
Governor of Virginia, as of, this year.
He released an executive order a little while ago.
Executive order number 6.
Number 6, specifically, in which he was basically like, okay, so here are all these groups that you can't discriminate against. And very purposefully left out sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression because he doesn't like gay people.
Right. Well, what he says is that he doesn't think it's legal to put in language to protect those groups as governor. Although the last 2 governors actually did that and no one thought it was bad. So, first Republican governor in 10 years comes in and removes protection for gays and trans people and everyone.
Surprise!
Oh.
Except for not in the least.
Yeah.
Also, okay, so what happens after this? Because this executive order has been in place, our Attorney General, Ken Cuccinelli, also a bigot, by the way, turns out.
On record. On record as a bigot.
On record as saying that homosexual acts are bad for society.
Yeah, that's actually true, though, because when I kiss people, it actually destroys universes. Things just start falling apart.
I'm like the Silver Surfer, but gay. So...
Yeah, he is, actually.
Okay, so Ken Cuccinelli sends out this great little letter to all of the universities in Virginia, all the public ones, and is like, hey, so if you were protecting against discrimination based on sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression, you can't protect against those anymore.
Wow! We need to stop
Not
discriminating. That makes so much sense. Thanks, Attorney General of Virginia. So that really pissed off pretty much everyone in college. Because it's really messed up.
Go figure.
Right. So what happened then is that we kind of started calling the Attorney General's office.
And by we, I mean us and 700 of our closest friends.
Right. Via, Facebook, which is really fun.
It's amazing what you can put together in 48 hours when people are pissed off because you're a big bigot.
Yeah. What's great about this is that we were all on spring break, so we had nothing better to do than sort of like fight back. So that's what we've been doing for a week now. But anyway, so we flooded the Attorney General's phone lines and called the governor so many times that they stopped picking up their phone. We also called all of our state legislators and basically got really, really angry and made sure everyone knew about it, including the news media.
It was pretty baller. Then specifically, we actually were on Wavy News 10. They aren't really cool with having to fact check everything when we do days and days of legal research and then give them a lot of references to stuff that is actually pretty legit, but they can't publish. So instead, the message that you guys got was, we can make change.
Which we can. But it's because we're really smart, not because we're really cute.
Although both are true.
Word.
So, there are a bunch of laws that... Okay, here, let's go back to why Ken Cuccinelli thinks that he can say these things.
Right.
He has cited that no one in a university can make a law or regulation that does not strictly apply to everything that has been said by the General Assembly.
False.
Falsies. Due to the Virginia State Code, I think it's like Article 23, Section 9, Paragraph 2, Clause 3?
This kid knows his shit.
Yeah. Which basically says, hey, universities, by their Board of Visitors, can make rules and regulations however they see fit.
Right, because it wouldn't make sense to have an institution that has, hundreds and thousands of employees not able to control how they hire and fire.
Which also actually applies to the students that they take in. So they could actually say, hey, you can't go to our college because you're gay.
Wait, should we get kicked out of school?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I work for Res Life, too, so I'm technically actually a state employee.
Yeah, me too. I work for the English department. So let's get fired because we're gay. No, because we can.
Thanks!
Hi!
Thanks, Bob. God. So then, you take this, and Ken Cuccinelli says, oh, no. Look at the Virginia State Code, Article 23, Section 44, which says that yes, you can make rules and regulations as long as they are consistent with the laws of the General Assembly, which is cool because nothing that we had said in our anti-discriminatory policies directly violated anything that was in the laws. They just had extra stuff, which you would have to do to run an university.
Yeah. there's this great thing called, university autonomy, where they get to make their own choices, and the General Assembly doesn't run every aspect of them. There's a reason there's a board of visitors who's in charge of them, as opposed to the elected delegates having total individual control over state colleges.
Cuccinelli is claiming that his statements comply with all of the former assumptions made by assumptions and precedents set by former governors. Not so true when you think back that all of them were really, really cool with university autonomy, and now he's trying to step way beyond his bounds on the platform that he ran for on small government by putting his giant biggity hand on our campuses.
Yeah. Luckily, we know about that. And so there was a huge protest at VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, which is where the state capitol is, conveniently. They kind of stormed the Capitol, which is awesome.
It was baller.
It was really baller. They made the news big time. So thanks, VCU.
You guys are
Thanks
great.
a lot.
Also, your administration is amazing for the letter that they sent out, where it was, in short, like, hey, Cuccinelli, you're a giant bigot, and we're not going to listen to you, and we're going to keep not discriminating.
Right. Because we want to be able to, be good people.
Go figure.
All right. So in response to the crazy protest, Bob McDonnell did something that is not an executive order. Executive orders, which you might have heard on Rachel Maddow, who I love, are not the same as executive directives. Executive directives don't have the force of law and are just things that he might want to say to us or something.
It was basically him saying, don't discriminate, but I'm not going to do anything if you do.
Yeah. So what he did effectively was try to quell the protests, and he wanted to say that no, it's okay, we're not going to enforce Ken Cuccinelli's letter. So colleges, you don't really have to get rid of your anti-discrimination policies.
And then the news media picked up, and we're like, oh, the college kids are happy now, they've gone back to their classes. Oh wait, we weren't in our classes, we've been on spring break.
Which is kind of the whole thing, because it's obvious that Cuccinelli put this letter out when no one was around to protest, except VCU. He forgot about you.
And you just happened to be right on the Capitol. And the fact that when you did this over spring break, it gave us time to organize a lot of stuff when we don't have class.
Yeah.
Good call, sir.
Wait, we thought you were really dumb before, but thanks. Hey, but there's a really big reason why what McDonnell said in the news media wasn't really a victory for gay people, even though everyone kind of thought it was. It's because he didn't say anything at all.
He actually did not say anything new. He repeated every sentiment that he had said previously in a different tone.
Right. What he's always said all the time since his campaign was that he doesn't think that we should discriminate. Great.
Cool. Do something about that.
Right. But what he's done actually pretty much speaks louder than his empty promises that we're not going to discriminate, because he's actively taking steps to prevent individual groups from preventing discrimination. He believes that it's not constitutional for him to tell people to quit doing that, whatever. What he's claimed is that the federal government already protects gay people, because that's why there's no discrimination against gay people. They can all get married and all have health insurance.
Oh, wait, none of that's true.
Wow!
Ha! Yeah, so, because none of this is true, we need to counteract all of this and counteract people saying that we've won, because we clearly have not.
Right.
Okay, so here's where we go from here.
Okay. So, there was a piece of legislation that would have made all of this null and void and protected gay people from being fired for just being gay. It was called SB 66. It was killed by Republicans yesterday.
Thanks,
the
guys.
House. Yeah. So, we really think it's incredibly important to continue pressuring all of your state legislators to get this done in the next session. 2011, when we graduate from college, we need jobs. And it's not just us. It's everybody who needs jobs.
Yeah, so we'll be working towards that. Also, we're going to send a lot of thank you letters to McKeechin, which we will link on the side because it's baller and he's great.
Yeah, he's the guy who proposed the original legislation. Love ya.
Thanks.
Bye.
Okay, yeah.
I just squinted at the camera.